The Seahawks are still building around Russell Wilson, according to a report, and are, quote, still trying to find capable pieces to try to bridge some of that frustration he had with building a contender. One of those pieces could be Antonio Brown. Russ wants him on the roster, and reports say Seattle could swoop in if he does not go back to Tampa. So, Sal, let's talk through this one. Should Russell Wilson feel appreciated in Seattle?
He better. Yes, he should. Oh, God, man. People younger than me just don't have perspective. And maybe because they haven't lived as long as me, or maybe they just don't know which way is up. Golly, Russell Wilson, talking about being born on third base and thinking you hit a triple. That's who Russell Wilson is. Russell Wilson didn't make any waves in Seattle. He caught the wave in Seattle. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks when they drafted Russell Wilson in the third round. Remember they had Matt Flynn, paid him. Russell Wilson, you weren't even supposed to be the starter. You became the starter because you are a baller. But like I said before, 97% of the league are system players, system ballers, whoever you want to say. And 3% are the ones that can make it happen no matter where you put them. I don't know where Russell Wilson really falls in terms of 97 or 3%. Now, is he a top 3, top 5 quarterback? Absolutely. But is he a part of that rare air 3% that could go anywhere and do it? I don't know. I give it to you this way. Before he got there, they were out there, and Tavares Jackson, rest in peace, was their quarterback. And then they looked around and said, this ain't it. This ain't it. Let's go get Russell Wilson out there, Matt Flynn, and let's address the quarterback situation, obviously. And then you know what happens? That defense that was 7th, and they were like, still we can't get over the hump with Tavares Jackson. Changed the quarterback position, became number 1 that year. Number 1 the next year, number 1 the next year, and number 1 the year after that. They saw a bump also in total offense from 23rd to top 10 with Russell Wilson. Great. But we also gave you players, Russell Wilson. Feel this appreciation. We gave you guys like a Marshawn Lynch. We've given you guys over the years all the way to now DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. You could go Golden Tate, Jimmy Graham, Doug Baldwin, Chris Carson, etc. We've given you players on your side of the ball. We've given you enough protection for us to win a Super Bowl and to return the second year. We've also given you the running game. We've also given you top defenses. And what we have to show for it, as you would say, this is not achieving properly. 1 Super Bowl ring out of all of that success surrounding Russell Wilson. So my point is, Russell Wilson needs to look in the mirror and feel that he needs to demand more of that guy versus pointing the finger in the blame game that's going on in Seattle.
Yeah, that's fair. Russell Wilson should feel appreciated, sure, but should he feel respected? No.
Oh, you're just going to change the question?
Appreciated, okay. Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, appreciated, yeah, you're right. He came in, he got 4 number 1 defenses. 4.
In a row.
Number 1 defenses. 1. And then back that up with a number 3 defense. So first 5 years in the NFL, Russ, you had a top 5 defense.
Come on, man.
Aaron Rodgers had a top 5 defense, won in his 13 years as starter. He gave them a Super Bowl. Like, Russ, you had a top 5 defense 5 times. You only gave them 1 Super Bowl. So, like, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to talk about clubs and if we're going to talk about hearts, let's talk about hearts. Let's talk about love. Should Russell Wilson feel respected? No, because respect in the NFL is tied to money. Has he been paid twice? Yes. But is he out of guaranteed money at the end of the season?
Oh, that's on you and your contract terms, brother. Yes, you got paid twice.
That's fair. But who do we see restructure their contracts this year? Brady done restructured. Yep. Even Mahomes done restructured.
Aaron Rodgers didn't.
Aaron Rodgers didn't, and we just talked about him 3 blocks ago.
Yeah.
So Russell Wilson, I don't think he should feel respected. The other reason is this, Sal. People who respect you, they listen to your advice. You know MJ, he 5? Your 5-year-old?
Yeah, he 5, but he built like he 50.
Right, MJ, your 5-year-old.
Oh, man.
If he was like, hey, Dad, you know what? I think you should lead the show with this. You'd probably be like, stay in your lane, young MJ. Like, give it a little bit.
You didn't like the A block today?
That was his. But somebody whose advice you respect, you might be like, you know what? You're probably right. Russell Wilson, he said, I'd love to have Antonio Brown on the team. They said, stay in your lane, Russ. We didn't ask you all that. Just go out there and throw the football. Stay in your lane.
Damn right.
Tom Brady said, you know what? I'd like to have Antonio Brown.
And they told him to stay in his lane, too, for months.
Nope. But
yes,
what they end up doing. What they end up doing.
Well, we'll see what they end up doing with Russell Wilson. We don't know that.
How does Rob Gronkowski get signed? You don't sign Gronk out of retirement if not for Tom Brady. You don't sign Antonio Brown, who had been accused of all these things, along with the frostbitten foot, along with the helmet issues, unless your quarterback says he wants them. Russell Wilson said he wanted AB, and they said, shh, be quiet. Tom Brady said he wanted AB. I said, oh, really, Tom? Anything you like. So should Russ feel appreciated? Sure, maybe. Respected, though, I know that's not the case.
Yeah, I love how you keep inserting respected, because you know appreciated. You better feel appreciated. The worst thing is, hey, you're like, whoa. Pete Carroll's like, hey, stop talking about AB. I don't want to hear it. Why does Russell Wilson need AB when he already has two 1,000-yard receivers in tow? Not saying that you can't get richer, but don't try to use this as a power play. That's my problem with it. Like, Russell, and there are two other teams that have players that have 1,000+ receiving yards that have two receivers like that.
But your quarterback, Tom Brady, he had Godwin, he had Mike Evans, 2,000-yard receivers.
Yeah.
And they said, give you more Super Bowl.
At first, they did not say that. At first, they said, matter of fact, at first they said there's no fit for Antonio Brown, partly because Bruce Arians like, I've coached him before. There's no fit for Antonio Brown. But then he becomes so cheap and he's still out there and you're like, oh, he can play this year, etc. Antonio Brown's in a different situation now. But Russell, is that all your issues? Let me tell you what Russell Wilson's issues are. The last time I saw him play football was his issues. Him regressing in the second part of seasons is his issue. Him looking around, pointing at the offensive line. Now it sounds like we need a little more production in our receiving core. When only two other teams can even talk, the Chiefs and the Panthers, speaking of Sam Darnold, are the only other teams that can say they have two 1,000-yard receivers. You know the last time I saw Russell Wilson? No, not the women's national championship game. You see them with the sister giving her love.
I didn't even know he had a little sister.
Yeah.
Sister out there balling.
Out there getting it. Stanford won. Congrats. It wasn't that time. It wasn't at the Super Bowl when he was crying, oh, I want to be out there, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. No, it wasn't that time. It was at a war show. No, it wasn't that time. Oh, it was the time he threw a pick six. It was the time where he was out there throwing for 40% completion percentage. It was the time he only threw and completed 11 passes. It was the time where he lost to a team that had a quarterback that they didn't even want, that was just benched the week before. Why doesn't Russell Wilson understand that all of this means the fingers are pointing back at you more so than you are pointing at others? Come on, Russell. Coming up, are the Patriots set at quarterback with Cam Newton? Well, answer that. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Launch that rock.